Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So, this is going to be one of the today's love messages, um, kind of like a love tarot. So, let's get into this and see what is the message right now from the universe in regards to the topic of love. Start out with a lot of self love, I think, with the Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles. This is a new time frame, a new timeline, a new way to perceive love and what love looks like and what love feels like, because it's being looked at from the perspective of, wait a minute, I matter. Aces are personal for me. So we've got literally like this egg has not cracked, but rather has hatched. And what we see is somebody who's master of their own ship sailing in front of this new dawn. This is a very different way for a character to behave. This is somebody who has finally become full. They're happy. They're happy as they are. They're happy in their own life. They're happy with um, let me put it this way. I feel like this is somebody who is healed fully and truly from other heartbreaks, other romantic situations that maybe fell apart. This is like a character who's hit the reset button on themselves for back before we ever had our first heartbreak. Back when, we could be fully satisfied with, you know, um, an awesome Saturday morning where, we get to walk down by the creek and, go outside and play and just there's this thing where it's like perfect satisfaction, perfect happiness comes from living the life that a character wanted to live. It comes from them loving their actual life. It's not coming from the angst and the anxiety that comes with having, dealt with or fallen in love with somebody and wondering how they feel about us and pinning our happiness on how someone else reacts to us, responds to us, or gives to us, or refrains from giving to us. Our character is not um, tangled up in any of those other emotions that stem from their interactions with others. They really feel good about themselves. They feel good about the things that they care about. Basically, this is a character who's healed from heartbreaks, wounds, all those things. We have them with a Three of Cups sideways and a Five of Pentacles upright. I definitely think that this is that story where a character was out in the cold for far too long. They may have lost friends, they may have lost lovers, they may have lost people dear to them. Their energy, they might have withdrawn from everybody for a while as well during the time that they were really feeling. Sometimes when a character feels sad about something, they withdraw and then they feel even more lonely. But in this storyline, it almost looks like for this character, they needed a little bit of time to withdraw to process maybe losses and to process, now wait a minute, my happiness in my entire life is not contingent upon whether or not I have a certain friend in my life or a certain lover in my life. My happiness with my own life, I was happy long before I met that friend or that lover that is no longer a part of my world. I was happy before them, so why can't I not hit that factory reset button and go back to who I was before? Like, I haven't really lost anything in my life. I'm actually still whole. I'm actually still who I was before I ever met them. So I think that's what our character had to like withdraw a little bit and really process that truth and come to that conclusion. I do think that they lost some people along the way, friend group. They might have even gone through a time where, yes, Page of Wands, but they might have even gone through a time where, they lost everything all at once. Friends turned out to be false friends, lover turned out to be false romantic partner, people they thought they could count on, they couldn't count on, but they didn't lose everybody. But I think they pushed everybody else away so that it was just them for a while dealing with. Sometimes it's hard when a group or a handful of people all at once turn out to either not be there for us or they're betrayers or whatever the storyline was for this fictional character. They dealt with a lot of loss at once, and that made them retreat from like everybody, even the people that were still awesome in their life. But they kind of had to do it because they had to get themselves on their own personal path. Sometimes the way that we find our greatest stability is when we don't have those training wheels, or when there isn't anybody else beside us to help us stabilize something. In this case, our characters stabilized their emotions, found their passion for life, found their way back to themselves, and they're in a really great space. This is amazing. This is a character who had to get there. They had to remember who they were before they had some big, big, big disappointments in their life, before some people, let them down. They had to remember who they were before those big letdowns, because they were solid and whole. And guess what? They found themselves again. That is so awesome. That is such a great message, especially because lots of times these are love stories that are about love and romance instead of love stories about like all the different kinds of love that are out there. We have a Queen of Pentacles, we have a King of Pentacles, and we have a Page of Pentacles. So now we're ready for a story about romance because our character has found their identity again. They have fully restored and recovered. And the universe says, and that is why at this point, this character has never been more ready to have a genuine match. Someone who is just like themselves, someone who is whole, someone who is complete, someone who knows who they are, someone who is, they're ready for this really lovely, energetic flow between themselves and a partner that is equal in every way, shape, and form to themselves. Someone who probably knows their own worth and value, somebody who likes themselves, somebody who's not clamoring for, like, somebody needs to make me feel better. Um, it's neither person is looking for validation from the other because they've already validated themselves. Now it's like, oh, this is cool. You're a compliment to my life because I really like the way you are in your own skin. I'm not thinking instantly, oh gosh, what if they cheat on me? What if they don't like me enough? I don't think I can handle another heartbreak. That is not at all the thought process on either of their mindsets. These are two characters that are pretty unshakable at this point because they're very much in the same space and they're about to meet. This is kind of like who a character had to become in order to meet someone who's right for them. They had to first really fall back in love with their own life and themselves. And here we go. There's the fool's journey. There's the new beginning. This is going to be a relationship unlike any they've ever had because they are, like I said, back to the factory settings, but with the added bonus that this character really feels strongly about, like they're living an authentic life, they're living a happy life, they're not pushing away amazing people anymore. They've genuinely healed. Their happiness is not dependent upon another person, and how much that person lifts them up or cherishes them. Instead, it's like, well, I cherish me and I want to meet somebody that cherishes themselves as well. And then we can be together in a really solid connection. But it's going to be a lot easier. I think this connection is going to be so much easier than any former connection because our character is attracting somebody very much like themselves in that same headspace and heart space where it's like, I feel so whole. I feel so good. We got Wheel of Fortune upright. What else did we get? Temperance sideways, Hanged Man upright. So it has been a long time coming. It really has been a long time coming for this character. They could possibly, just because we saw all that earth energy, they could be earth energies, doesn't have to be. We're just showing a grounded, stable relationship that is on the horizon for a character because their their energy has calmed, has shifted, has become more contented. But with the Hanged Man, I think that they're going to really reflect and say, oh my God, I didn't realize that part of the hurt that I felt was because I wasn't fully balanced in myself before. Part of the hurt I felt previously when a relationship went south, when somebody wasn't there for me, when people betrayed me, was maybe I needed to see it from a different perspective. I needed to see that it was me that also wasn't that balanced. Because if our character, I mean, nobody likes to feel like somebody is mean to them, doesn't want them, is rude to them. But to a certain extent, our character needed to reinforce the idea that my worth is not contingent upon whether or not someone else sees me as valuable. My worth is inherent inside of me. And that was one thing that people will come and go. Sometimes people will be devastatingly, uh, like traitorous energy and treachery and all that stuff, right? But at the end of the day, our character themselves knows or should know that's their issue, not mine. It was never about me. And when they look at this and they see it from that different perspective, they're like, oh my God, I just now realized I was wounded not because of whatever I dealt with from at the hands of other people, but I was wounded because I wasn't completely healed in myself. This doesn't mean that other people's bad behavior somehow now, like, no, it doesn't even matter. No, but our character certainly is in a place where and I'm going to say our character is that Queen of Pentacles, but they are certainly more satisfied, more whole, more content, and quite unshakable. They know what they know about themselves. Doesn't mean they stop growing, doesn't mean that they can't learn more, but when it comes to their worth, they won't, if they meet someone who, say, that King of Pentacles somehow doesn't turn out to be everything that they look like they're going to be. It doesn't turn out to be simpatico. It doesn't turn out to be a perfect match. You know what? This Queen of Pentacles is not going to be devastated no matter how things go, only because they're like, if somebody turns out not to be who I thought they were, that's on them. That's not me that needs to be, feeling like I've been shattered and I've been left out in the cold. That's on them. They clearly had issues because I know it's not me because I'm solid. That's the difference in who this character is now. They're very whole. They're very sure about themselves. But let me just ask, what does become of this new relationship? Because I feel like this is going to be an amazing relationship. We have 4 of Cups. We have 2 of Wands. I think the only thing to regret is, dang, you mean I could have called in this amazing romance a long time ago? You mean this is what I've been, like, I had the whole world in my hands. I could have pulled this in at any point in time. The thing I wished for, I could have had sooner had I just completed this process that was inside of me. It's very much that this character had to complete a process within themselves, which was about finding their own self-love, knowing that if someone betrayed them, somebody hurt them, that was not on them. That's that individual's problem. The person who betrays, the person who lies, the friends that aren't real, the people that are petty, they have their set of issues. And if they, did something unkind to this lead character that really hurt this lead character, it hurts a lot less when they realize, wait a minute, they did that bad stuff. That's on them. You mean I could have brought in this new romance way sooner if I had just realized that? Yes, but you know what? It takes time to bring things into balance, especially something like this. 2 of Pentacles says our character did know this, but to really um, know it and then believe it are 2 different things. And I think they had to come to this genuine conclusion. They had to really love themselves wholly before they could be ready for a connection with somebody else. 5 of Swords, Knight of Wands, Ace of Pentacles. And they had a lot of bitterness and they had a lot of hurt and they focused for a long time probably on, the player energy, the brokenhearted energy. I'm guessing this is probably also paralleling the story of that King of Pentacles, because on this 5 of Swords, it actually says that the masculine was the one wounded and we have a feminine who's a player. And then you notice how we have 2 new fronds of this fern unfurling. Well, that's a tongue twister. Fronds of this fern unfurling. Um, both the King and the Queen of Pentacles had to come to this same place in their life. They came to an ending of tolerating people that hurt you, people that play games, people that are just kind of uh, untrustworthy. They both had to come to the same conclusion that, wait a minute, some people are untrustworthy. That's on them, not on me. I'm not hurt by that anymore. I'm not hurt by their lack of integrity. I'm not hurt by their lack of ability to be solid. I've come to the end of my thought process on this, and I realize I am different than they are. That's all there is to it. And I want different for myself. I want better for myself. That's the new beginning. So this is a very refreshed connection. So in fact, our Queen of Pentacles really can't say, "Oh man, I'm bummed out that I didn't manifest this sooner," because I don't think that they could have manifested in somebody just like themselves sooner, because the person who's right for them had to go through their own identical process, is what it looks like, which makes sense since they're a perfectly matched pair. Do we have any final message on this? It's actually really nice to see this kind of strength. High Priestess in the reverse. Man, I think these two are going to understand each other at a very deep, profound level. This is also an incredibly sensual card. So I feel like although the King and Queen of Pentacles can get this rap for being like all work oriented and very stable and secure, um, earthy energy is raw and passionate as well. And the High Priestess energy is, I feel like these two are going to unlock some huge passion for one another. I think they're going to automatically understand that there is a very big inferno simmering right under that cool exterior. And I think that these two sense that they know that they can already identify something in one another, that it's like, you have the same sense of self-worth. You have a similar storyline to what I went through, and you are somebody who is wanted to have a partner that you can really give to and that can give in return from a healthy space. I think that this is all kind of like, I don't know, there's like either a telepathic connection between these two. We have that Five of Wands as well. They will challenge each other, but these, the alpha pair and wolf pack mates for life. There's also, I think that these two are going to enjoy taking on the challenges of life. I think they're going to be great partners. I think they're going to push each other, but at the same time, always have each other's back. This is not predatory. This is like, I finally found the person that I match with. I finally found that person that is, they understand me and I understand them. So really nice energy on this. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me. I will see you guys again tomorrow. Bye for now.